2, Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2 to end Super Sunday. An inspired comeback in the end by Arsenal, a brilliant second half performance until Merino stupidly gets himself sent off. Clear red card. I don't think any Arsenal fan could complain because it was a clear red card. Drama right at the end. Odegaard could have won it. Then a correctly disallowed goal as well. Kanate can't push Skelly over in the face. And Trent, we saw Trent Alexander-Arnold booed. Ferociously booed. Viciously booed by his own fans today. Died down after a couple of touches of the ball, but they were letting their voices be heard. Do us a big favor, please, and hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace if you haven't done that already. Plus, a big shout out to our title sponsors, Match Bingo. I've been playing this game for a couple of years. We were working with them about 9 to 10 months ago, and I know so many of you signed up and used it. We're working with them again. It's an amazing game that you can play during games. So scan the QR code on the screen now or click the link in our description or live chat. But essentially what this game is, if you are new to the Terrace since then, is you will, by the way, get 10 free cards when you sign up to an account. But you buy cards for games, and it gives you, it might say you need a card in any minute ending in a 6 for Arsenal is in today's game. It may say Liverpool need to score a goal with their right foot. And it's like bingo. When these moments in games happen, you fill your lines in. If you're the first to win a line, you get money. If you're the first to get 2 lines, you win money. If you're the first to a full house, you win the jackpot, which is normally about £100 per card. It's a great bit of fun during games. I prefer them on dead rubbers. Games I'm not that interested in. But go and check out Match Bingo right now. As I say, their link is in our description or in the live chat. Just click on that at the end of the show. Get yourself signed up. But it's an amazing game to play. And today was an amazing game. Still, today was an amazing game. And I know that there'll be, I know there's definitely, a lot of, there'll be a few Arsenal fans out there frustrated. Sorry, Liverpool fans out there frustrated that they had, I love this comment here. Liverpool fans frustrated because Liverpool were excellent in that first half. A little hairy moment from a chance from Saka in the opening exchanges. A very well-worked free kick. Liverpool working on a way of killing the offside trap. Creating an offside trap and killing the Arsenal free kicks and set pieces. But a great run from Saka, nearly opening the scoring. But then you could see the hangover for Arsenal. The hangover from the Champions League game. They looked poor out of possession, easy to run through. The opening goal was a great example. Kind of caught ball watching for large parts of the game. And I want to make sure I say this in the correct way. They were ball watching. They were slow into the tackles. There was an intensity missing from a defensive standpoint. And the opening goal was testament to that. A ball over the top puts Gakpo through. He should have squared it. He doesn't. He loses possession. Ball gets cleared out for a throw-in. Nobody recovers. Ben White's out of position. Gakpo standing by himself in the middle. A very good cross from Robertson, and it's buried. Then within the space of a minute really of the restart, Liverpool, absolutely brilliant. We've seen it all season from them. We know how phenomenal they are all season. And they ripped through Arsenal, made it 2-0. And it did appear as though it was going to be a very painful and a very horrible day for Arsenal. In the same week they've been knocked out of the Champions League, they looked like they were facing an absolute beating, a real beating indeed. And they went in at halftime. My prediction was actually 2-2. If you watched my shows yesterday, Friday, I think I predicted 2-2. But I'm sitting there thinking, this ain't no 2-2. Arsenal look done. Arsenal look finished. They don't look at the races in any capacity whatsoever. But I've got to give them credit. The second half, Arsenal were a different level. They pressed correctly as a team. They were aggressive defensively. Clearly had a rocket up their backside from Mikel Arteta, and they started the second half in a very dangerous way. They created a very good goal. Martinelli getting his head on the ball from a good cross, but there was an opening just before that for Mikel Merino that was actually blocked by Odegaard. And they were the better team in the second half by a country mile. I mean, when you look at the game statistically, it's 14 shots to 15, more of the ball with Arsenal. But there was an onslaught in that last 15 to 20 minutes when Mikel Merino got his, again, rightful red card. Up until that point, Arsenal really looked as though they were going to go on to win it. And the second goal was excellent, but I think at the same time, there's going to be a lot of Arsenal fans angry. Because Arsenal won't be able to help do this in this circumstance. There's been 4 or 5 games recently where Odegaard could have taken shots from the same position, and he's taken an extra touch. Today's shot was brilliant. Mikel Merino played onside by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Good save from Alisson, headed into the back of the net. And had it not been for a poor pass, a terrible touch, and then a stupid red card for Mikel Merino, I do think Arsenal would have gone on to win the game. They were just in the ascendancy. They were purring at that point. And I think Liverpool, they've got a great record, Liverpool, of leading half time 2-0 and not losing. I think it goes back donkey's years, and that was under threat. But and also Arsenal, what the game? I think I saw a stat come up since 2008 when they've been leading 2-0 at half time. I think they've only drawn 1, maybe 2, 1-3, and lost the rest of the game. So there's a few little records there that I was just closely watching in that game. But I think 2-2 was a fair result on the balance of both halves. Of course, it doesn't mean anything to Liverpool, barring pride, really. And listen, Liverpool fans can lie all they want that they don't care about Arsenal. We saw the amazing banners your fans made today, the one with Arteta in a bridesmaid's dress. There was a kid that was holding a banner that had Odegaard with a camera saying, smile champions. Let's not pretend that Liverpool don't care about Arsenal. There was some pride at stake. There was some emotion at stake today. And you saw that in the intensity from Liverpool in that first half. They weren't playing like a team on the beach. Second half, Arsenal responded. And what we actually got to see today is the 2 best teams in England. Doesn't mean Arsenal haven't got problems and shouldn't be ridiculed, but they are capable of what they did in the second half, which is why I get why their fans want to win trophies. I'm not saying they're wrong. The idea they're going to drop off next season and not be anywhere near a title race, I just don't kind of understand that train of thought personally. Quite a few, and also I would say this to a lot of Gooners as well. Like, let's keep our eye out on what people are actually saying. Just keep an eye out for what people are actually saying about, your team online, especially your own Arsenal fans, because a lot of people always try and claim they're right when, we didn't get over the line to win the Prem. I told you I was always right. I see a lot of TikTokers do it. I see a lot of big Twitter accounts do that. But yet, what they're predicting right now is finishing sort of 5th or 6th next year if Arteta stays. And I've read a few threads on that today. And I'm like, this is the problem with these people, is they make these bold predictions. They're wrong. But because the end result wasn't achieved, they pretend like they were right. Just keep your eye on it, people. Just keep your eye out for what they're actually saying. Still a very good team, Arsenal. Poor season overall, and I think today's game shows it. Quite a few people in the comment section saying Arsenal when they were robbed. Listen, that was a clear foul at the end. You cannot push someone in their face. I think if they're just grabbing each other's shirts, it wouldn't have been disallowed. But Konate literally pushed him in the face. You can't defend it. Equally, any Arsenal fans, it's a stonewall second yellow. Stonewall. I mean, if there's more contact on the shin, it could have been a bloody red card. It was a terrible tackle from Mikel Merino. The only bit I was a little bit miffed by, and maybe it's only if it's a penalty, the referee allowed the advantage and the shot went wide, and then brought it back for the free kick and sent the man off. I always felt that if the shot got away, and it was quite a close shot, that you didn't then get the chance to shoot again, but you'd still be booked. That was the only element. That's the only decision I felt the ref today got wrong. And maybe not even wrong, I just didn't understand it. But outside of it, I don't think the ref helped either side. All the big calls, as far as I can see, were correct. And I'm very critical of the referees, but I don't think anybody got robbed in either direction today at all. At all. Let's have a look at some of the comments that have come through here. We have a few super chats to put up on the screen. First one says, hang on, I've got a few here. Thank you for asking everybody to smash the like button, Luke. I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys like the new setup on the Football Terrace. We've got to work out how we're going to bring the panel in a little bit better than how we've got it set up at the moment. But this new super chat column below, I think looks wicked. We are going to ask the guys if they can make the font a little bit bigger with the new way that we're streaming. This is on Trent. This is why you don't do that sentimental garbage. Trent shouldn't start a single minute from now on. What did What did Trent do? I know he plays the man on side, but it was marginal. What did he do wrong? It wasn't as though you were playing poorly at the start of the second half and he wasn't on the pitch. When you say this is on Trent, would you think the players got distracted because of the boos? Like, I'm asking a genuine question. I'd love to know what you mean by that, bro. I'd love to know what you mean. Martinelli's work rate is mental. He needs respect. He did work very hard in that second half. He was doing something today with Trossard that worked really well, where he was coming into the central areas and Trossard was drifting out to the left. Should have done that more in those in that game against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League, in my opinion. You need to listen to Husam and Tom. Where's that super chat gone? You need to listen to Sam and Tom talk about Zubimendi transfer. The first 20 minutes of the stream was pure tears and copium and blasting Arsenal fans. 10 at the back masterclass, 4 fullbacks world class. Big up, Josh. Hope you're well. I don't want to hear about how classy Liverpool fans are. Disgraceful. Trent has won everything with them and deserves better. Come on, you gooners. Can't wait for next year. I made a promise. I'm not going to tell Liverpool fans how they should think and feel. They think he's a rat. I'm so intrigued to see what comes out about this story-wise. I'm so intrigued to see whether when Trent's fully gone, listen, we know clubs love to do up PR that protect them and diminish players. So a few stories have come out where it's like, no, he kept on stringing them along, basically. And Real Madrid were telling him not to commit or say anything and not to have meetings so he could walk away for free. That could be true. If that's true, they're right to be angry. If it transpires that he told them no years back and said, I'm not signing no matter what you offer me, then it does go down to the club. But I get why Liverpool fans are upset. I get why they're angry, especially as he's local. I do get it. Just happy that the 1 point helped us not finish under third. Well, it is really funny because Newcastle could jump ahead of Arsenal next week, but all week leading up to this weekend's game, City and Chelsea fans were like, we're coming for you, we're going to overtake you, and that ain't happened yet. Might happen. It ain't happened yet. Liverpool made 7 changes today from last week against Chelsea. Okay. I need you to make me understand what I know it's a fact, but what does that represent? Did you see what the Forest owner did? Unacceptable. Yeah, I've only seen a brief clip. I haven't listened to any of it. He kind of came on and had a go. It depends on the level. Listen, people will always pick and choose what's right and wrong, depending. I've said this for many years on the terrace, and I haven't said it for a while. I'm saying it again now. How do I say this correctly? Most of the time in life, people don't criticize what you're doing. It's who you are. And I'll give you an example. There are people that call me out for my thumbnails when I have my hand over my face like this. But yet they're friends with and work with and do content with other people that do the exact same things. So it's why I don't take the feedback too seriously. Does that make sense? I saw, this ain't nothing to do with me. I saw one YouTuber the other day have a pop at another YouTuber saying he's just disgraced the way he talks about people online. And I'm like, brother, you work with these 2 or 3 YouTubers that do the same thing. But because you like them, you don't call them out. I think the same thing here with the ownership. Man United owners. We all know this for a fact. And I want to see the reaction of everybody backstage when I say this. Every time there's a cup final involving a big club, huge fan base, there's always a kickoff that loads of season ticket holders and home and away fans don't get access to tickets because there's only 15,000 allocated to each set of fans. There's always angry that sponsors, staff members, influencers, etc. are getting more tickets than the die-hard fans. So Ineos thought they'd have a good idea and say, well, what we'll do, no tickets for staff. All the 700 to 1,000 tickets we have for staff, we'll put them into the pot so fans can get them. That's been met with, how dare you treat your staff like that? Again, it depends on your disposition towards Ineos dictate how you react to that news, by and large. And I think the same can be said about what the Forest owner did. If you're a Forest fan and he is God, he is more important than the manager, more important than the players, you're going to back it and say standards. If you don't think that, you'll see it a different way. That's what you get when two top-class teams play each other without big pressure. Great attacking football and taking risks on both sides. Great game. Bird here also says, we were 2-1 up. The crowd is bouncing. Trent comes on and the mood shifts and the crowd shifts and the whole game is turned upside down. Yeah, I mean, I would... Is that not on the crowd then? Is that not on the crowd to support your team more than to have a go at one of your greatest ever players? Or are you blaming Slot? Because it's not Trent's fault. Trent can't refuse to play. That'd be against his contract. Because I also think, Bird, people that hate Trent now, if he refused to play, that would also... And this is what I mean by, would you always make it about Trent? So Trent can't refuse to play as everyone will go mad, right? So it's either Slot's fault or the crowd's fault. It can't be on Trent in terms of playing. Can't be on him. Logically speaking, it just can't be, as far as I can tell. Are more of these comments coming through? I don't know if I'm getting any more of these super chats through on the way this thing drags stuff through. I'm not too sure. Doesn't seem to be. I'll have to put them up a different way if they're not coming through. Unfortunately, I don't think they are pulling through properly. So I'll put them up on here. Does it mean they respect... Does this mean they respect Arsenal more than Chelsea? Oh, because of the changes. You would have thought so. You would absolutely think that's exactly what it means. So you would have thought that's what it meant. Trent, thanks for helping my team tie. I wish I could push FIFA Simulate for the rest of the season. Given Arteta this coming season, if he brings Zurich, Gyökeres and others and still doesn't win, no excuses. Sonny, listen, I hear that, mate. I hear it. I hear where you're coming from. I understand why you think what you do. And I get your frustrations as well. I really, really do get your frustrations. No doubt about it. I understand where you're coming from. I'm going to bring the panel out now to have their say on the show. Please make sure, if you haven't done so already, you've hit the like and share button. But a big shout out to our title sponsors today Match Bingo. I misread something there. Match Bingo. Go get it checked out now. Get your free cards. Still loads of games to play between now and the end of the season. It's a brilliant game. The link's in our description below. Go and get that done now. Panel time now. We're going to have Matt. We're going to have Ram. We've also got Chris coming on to join us as well. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. I'm going to start with yourself, Ram. Obviously, a disappointing result in the end.
Yeah. Definitely disappointing. Game of two halves, really. I think the first half we were pretty good. I think first 20 minutes we were very, very good. A lot of good passing plays, good passage of plays, made some really good chances. Got 2 goals, rightly so deserved as well. I think we cut through them left, right, and centre. And then as soon as we got the 2 goals, we were very much a little bit complacent. We were happy keeping the 2-0 lead. Let them play football. Conor Bradley for the first goal. I don't know what he was doing, not closing down Trossard. Like, first rule as a defender, you got to close down the crosses. If it doesn't come in, nothing's going to happen from it. So there's that. But overall, I felt as though as soon as the game got on, we just started playing football just for the sake of playing football. No real proper passages of play. Very passive, passing it around, making it a big stroll. And then once they got their second goal, we decided to try our best to get off the third. And obviously the third goal rightly disallowed. It was a foul on Skelly, even though I feel bad for Konate. I know he's a foot taller than him, so it's quite easy for him to push his face, but it is what it is. It is a foul. Yeah. So, all in all, 2-2, I feel like is the right result. We didn't deserve to win. I don't think Arsenal deserved to win either. I think it's just a very, very lethargic game for two sides that don't really care at this point.
You thought that was lethargic? I thought it was the opposite to lethargic.
As in, like, we didn't really try that much, Terry. Do you think from a Liverpool perspective, do you think we really tried to go for the win?
That first half you did, and you did. The second half began.
Yeah, the majority of the game, though, I feel like in spells, yes.
So but that's because Arsenal. This is what happened. First half, you run all over them. You were so much better than them in the first half. Yeah. The first 20, 25 minutes of the second half, they run all over you. There was not much you could do. They just won every ball. They were dogged. Then the red card happens, rightfully so, because of the pressure you put upon them. And then you had 2 or 3 really good chances to win the game. I didn't look at Liverpool today as a side that didn't care about winning. You really tried.
I don't know. I feel like there's quite a lot of unforced errors from the midfield as well. Like a lot of the passes that we're going through, like some of those passes, it should be textbook to them. Like, and when I say lethargic, it was very passive. Like we were just passing the ball around, trying to not doing anything. Like the Liverpool that I know, a Liverpool that I've seen for majority of the season.
We're getting smaller and smaller, Terry.
Yeah,
we passed with a lot of intention, and I don't think there was a lot of intention today. But can you blame them? Can you blame both teams? I think they were just doing it just for self-pride, really. But I don't think they really cared that much.
I hear that.
You should be.
I hear where you're coming from. Connor, from an Arsenal perspective, what did you make of today, mate?
First half was really poor, and it was a half where I thought, right, hangover from Paris, isn't it? You know, these guys don't have the motivation or the energy to want to win the game. But I was actually quite surprised because classic Arsenal would have given in from those 2 goals and said, right, we accept we're going to lose today. But the fight back and the comeback that they had was actually something that I didn't expect, and I actually respected it from the players that they got themselves back up and decided to get back into the match. Especially at Anfield as well, because you know how tricky Anfield can be for Arsenal. But we can't back around the point that the first half was really shocking. But I'm going to let it slide today because we still did get the point. You know, I'm still very much annoyed with this season and how it's gone, with how easily Liverpool have gone ahead and, you know, won the league and how easy it's been given to them. More from an Arsenal perspective because we didn't really put up much of a fight with all of our draws and stuff. But no, listen, we've got the point, and I just want to secure UCL. You know, just at this point because I just want the season to end and get it done over with. I'm proud of the team, the fact they came back into it, Terry. Because honestly, I've seen Arsenal many years before where they would just give in and not bother to come back into the game, and we did give Liverpool a run for their money in that second half. And I think it took them by surprise as well. I don't think they expected us to come out in that second half in the way we did. And you know what? I want to call out something because I've called it out for so long with Martin Odegaard. He finally took shots at goal, and he did it against PSG as well. Thank you. Do you see how actually it makes more sense for you to have a shot at goal than the extra touch? And you possibly, if you don't score it, you're creating a chance, you know? And I want to see more of that from him. You know, it's very clear and evident that he's got talent, but he just doesn't have the confidence. I've been hearing people saying, oh, but, you know, it will go back. You can't be losing your confidence at 26. You're a professional footballer. And I'm liking to see that he's getting back into it, back into the swing of it. Do more of that, and you'll get more praise. And he gets moments like that. So, yeah, overall, there were individuals that weren't as good today, but I'll just go ahead and say I'm proud that we came back in the way we did. We got the point. Obviously, league's done, so it doesn't mean too much. I think if it was a situation like last season with how the league went, this game would have been massive, and it would have been quite a different turnout, obviously, at the end. But obviously, league's done. But yeah, move to Newcastle. Just get the UCL qualification done at this point.
Well, I do think what's really interesting, and I know that I'm not putting you into this category of Arsenal fans, but there are some that have always said 2nd or 17th doesn't matter. We're losers. It doesn't matter. But in the last couple of weeks, it's become we better not be 3rd or 4th or 5th. Yeah. Because I think there is a little bit of pressure on Arsenal to not drop down in the league, and so I agree with you in terms of that fight back in the second half. I think was really important because you know as well as I do that there would have been an additional hysteria and meltdown, even though, you know, whether you come 2nd or 3rd, the prize is exactly the same as the end of it, a place in the Champions League. And I never felt that was really in question, that you wouldn't make a Champions League spot.
Pride for me. It's more of a pride thing, Terry. Go out of a bit of pride. Don't like even more like idiots than you already have in the way you've gone about every single competition. Obviously, in terms, I mean, of how you've gone out of them. Especially with what we've done in the Premier League and also the Cups as well. I think the Cups have been very much forgotten by a lot of Arsenal fans this season, how shocking we were and the way we went out. So just go out with a bit of pride in it and just see it out. And yeah, got 2 decent fixtures left. Hopefully we can... Well, listen, I think is the new kit going to be rolled out next week? So everyone will be happy for that, and we'll probably get a big win against Newcastle for that. Everyone will be at the Armory getting the new kit. So it'll be a great day, won't it? Great day out. But yeah, good on them for the comeback because I didn't expect that. I didn't.
Yeah, no, I get that. And look, I get where you're coming from. I have to say this as well. You know, this isn't the end of The Sopranos. This isn't the final episode of Game of Thrones, and we're all disappointed about that bullshit in the council. For you lot as Arsenal fans, I know you hate it, but there's a summer ahead. You're going to improve. As you say, though, it's nice to see a bit of fight. Maybe end the season with a couple of good results, and then you can wipe your mouths a little bit. I think, like me, though, I don't know about you, Man United the same. I just wish I could hit the simulate button and just end the season now and it'd be done 100%. Chris, from your point of view as a Liverpool fan today, what did you make of it? Ram sort of said you didn't try to win. Did you see it that way? Were you happy with Liverpool's performance?
I think what was really weird today is there was two things that were happening. Arsenal were fighting for the Champions League spot, and Liverpool were fighting to get Mo Salah his record to beat Thierry Henry. That's all that mattered in this game. Like, you can ask any Liverpool supporter. The game was really weird. Like Anthony Taylor is a terrible ref for Liverpool. Let's just be honest. He's a terrible ref for Liverpool, and he let two players in Merino and Partey just literally kick our players up in the air for the first half. Like, I have no idea how Thomas Partey didn't get a yellow card in that game. Like, just make that make sense to me. And it's really the story of the season for us. We've won the league because of the wide players and not because of the number 9s. And we missed a bag full of chances with the number 9s. It could have been 5-0 in the first half. Like, Luis Diaz missing clear-cut chances, really trying his best for Mo Salah not to get that record. Robbo missing that chance as well. Like, there was plenty of chances to score to win that game. And then you bring Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota on, and what you're going to get? Like, it was like we had a man sent off as well. It was like we had the same amount of men on the pitch when Merino got sent off, and it was the right send. It was a right to send him off. By the way, it was an absolute horror of a tackle. For me, I thought it was a bad substitution to bring Trent on because it didn't look like he was interested. He played him on side. He also gave that ball away to Odegaard. My God. And they could have won the game with that chance right at the very end. I felt Slot maybe buckled under the pressure to maybe play him, but I thought Conor Bradley gave a good account of himself. And I also liked the fact that they were chanting, "There's only one Conor Bradley" when Trent came on the pitch.
That is such
which kind of nailed the Liverpool fans to the match.
They chanted everything. They chanted one Conor Bradley.
It's so ironic. You'll boo him when he comes on, but when he takes the free kick, you don't hear any boos, do you? Because it could be a goal here. Like, make your mind up. What is wrong with these scousers, isn't it?
So you want us to boo? So you want us to boo him every time he touches the ball?
Okay, hold on a minute. So you boo him when he? Yeah, well, you were booing him when he touched the ball anyway. It's such a joke. Liverpool fans are such crybabies with this situation. If Liverpool got money for this transfer, you wouldn't be crying, would you? No, you wouldn't.
You booed Granit Xhaka off, and then what happened?
Yeah, but it makes me laugh. You wouldn't be booed him when he had the ball. When it was a goal-scoring opportunity, it's pinpoint silence. It's like, make your mind up, man. What are you doing?
What do you guys do to Granit Xhaka?
You guys can talk.
What do you guys do to Granit Xhaka?
Xhaka, hold up. Xhaka literally disrespected the club. He literally threw the captain's armband.
And Trent hasn't disrespected the club.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, right. Trent has completely respected
the club. He hasn't gone for money. He's disrespected the club. I'm sorry.
He redeemed himself.
No, and then you do realise Xhaka threw the captain's armband after he got booed off the pitch. He threw it when he got.
I don't know what I did there. I didn't mean to do that.
It was good though.
I'm learning how to use this new thing. I just fucked it live on the air. I was gonna speak about that next, and it come up organically. But obviously the game today's there. Rack, what did you make of Liverpool fans sort of ferociously booing Trent the way he did, the way they did?
I think Liverpool fans are entitled to their opinion. If you want to boo him, fine. If you don't want to boo him, that's also fine. People are entitled to their opinion. It's a free country. And Trent, my opinion on this situation has changed a little bit over the last few weeks. I mean, I've said before that Trent will be a legend, and I'm not entirely sure that's the case now. I think some of the stuff that has been done has been a little bit distasteful. And it is what it is. Like, obviously he's given us great moments, and we've given him a lot of money, and he had great times and we had great times. But ultimately, all good things come to an end, and sometimes they end well, sometimes they don't. Trent's entitled to do what it was. That's how football works. He's seen out his contract, and I think from a ethical point of view, he hasn't done that. But from a moral point of view, maybe not. I don't know. It's everyone's down to is allowed to treat the situation how they feel. You can't change the way you feel. How you feel is how you feel. It is what it is.
How about yourself, Husam? Because I know you're someone that isn't getting at him. You're not someone that has kind of been vocal about him being a rat or a snake. But these are the born and bred Scousers have made it very clear at Anfield that he's no longer welcome there in any capacity. How did that make you feel individually?
First of all, it's very funny watching Connor be like edgy for no reason. It's just being edgy unnecessarily. Don't act out of character, Connor. You're a nice guy.
Edgy? I was getting
just be a nice guy. Just be a nice guy. You had a fantastic game today. Anyway, here's the thing with this thing with like Trent and booing. I don't control people's emotions. By the way, it's not the whole stadium that booed him. There were like really old people, Scousers, who were like, "Thank you, Trent." There was a guy who raised the banner, TAA Trent. So like, that's basically the Scouts way of saying thank you. So I don't think it's I don't think everyone is booing him, but I don't have a problem with people booing him. There's nothing wrong with that. I think people now want to turn football into this like robotic NBA crap, which it will never be. And that's just my honest opinion. Like, I think people are just doing too much and trying to act like, oh, like players have never been booed before. Players have, this happened, by the way, to Steve McManaman. Like really long time ago when he wanted to move to Real Madrid. Obviously Rax knows about that. So the Liverpool fans booed McManaman like 20 years ago, 30 years ago now. So there's nothing wrong with that in my opinion. And I think regardless, like him being booed did not affect the outcome of the game. But I think people are now, and I think Mark was speaking about this actually, people are just trying to control people's like emotions and reactions to football, and it's just so annoying. Like, bro, if Liverpool fans want to be upset, let us be upset in peace. Like, one of our best players is leaving the football club. For me personally, like, we have differing opinions even on this platform. Like, Tom Little is making it all about the money. Like, oh, you've left for free. Me personally, I don't care whether you leave for free or not. I hate the fact that you're leaving. So I think there's differing opinions on this topic specifically, and I have no problem with him being booed, to be honest with you. But I just didn't boo him.
And also, to just one more thing, so like, if you don't want hypocrisy, don't watch football. All football fans are hypocritical. We all say one thing and we do another.
Well,
you could argue it's not even that's human nature as well. But
I was about to just say, like, jokingly, because I know you have to tell the toaster people it's a joke, that Husam, you yourself are being a fraud when you say that. You're being a hypocrite, because I've probably done, from match reactions to straight facts to spaces, we've probably streamed and made content together now. It wouldn't be an overestimate to say between 500 to 1,000 times. I think in the last 4 or 5 years, we've done it hundreds of times. And the amount of times you've told me what I should think about Man United's manager or the Man United player or whatever, and we all do it to each other. And it's not a dig at you. We all do this. And this is the one thing I would say that Liverpool fans have got wrong, is you can't. I think it's more the Scousers. It's we're too special to be told what, and I don't mean that offensively, Chris, but we're too special to be told by anyone outside of our city how to think, when Liverpool fans also tell people from other cities how they should think. That's the only element.
It's quite a northern thing, by the way.
You always make inaccurate analogies. That has nothing to do. You're not telling me, like, oh my God, Slaughter's this as a manager. There's a difference between your player leaving and me telling you how to emotionally feel about that versus me saying Ollie's a shit manager. That's two different.
No, but it's different. I'm not talking about saying someone's a shit manager or someone's a shit player. I'll give you an example. You have definitely said on shows words to the effect of, I can't believe you're standing for that. I can't believe you're not angry. I can't believe you don't do this. I can't believe. We've all said that and done that to each other. Half the time, you're doing what Connor tried to do, and that is wind people up.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with this scenario at all.
The scenario is different, but the request is the same. It is an absolute fact that every single one of us has told another fan base multiple times, you shouldn't feel like that. Or you should feel much angrier. You should be sad about that. Why aren't you buzzing today? How can you? I've heard you say to Arsenal fans, how are you not happy with where you are in the league? I've heard you say it on streams to Sam. We all do it. All of us.
I hear you. I hear
But
you.
this Scout's not
You're not being a
English.
hypocrite, Sam.
Fuck you, Chris. You are England. Brandon, what do you make? I'll come back to you with something about Liverpool in a minute. Brandon, what did you make of Arsenal today, especially after the PSG defeat?
Oh, dear tell. For me, again, today was just another demonstration of how far off we are and how much of a big summer we need to have. You know, the guard of honour at the beginning, then players should be hurting from that. That's 3 years in a row now we've had to give guard of honour. Yeah, 3 years in a row that we maybe should have done better in the league and should have won the league, and instead we're giving guard of honours to opposition teams. And unfortunately, in that first half, I didn't see a team that was hurting. Now, people will say we had a hangover from the PSG game midweek. I get that. I understand that, because the majority of the players that started that game against PSG. But, you know, that first half, we got absolutely outplayed for the large majority of it. And it shows how poor our summer transfer window was. It shows how much of a big summer we have ahead of ourselves in order to catch up. Second half, credit to the players and the manager, of course, for the comeback. But too many times this has happened this season, You know, too many times Arsenal have turned up in one half of the football game, and then in the second half or even in the first half, we've failed to perform at what should be our standard. And that's why Arsenal have dropped points in quite a lot of games this season. And ultimately, that's what's cost us the league. That's what's cost us in different competitions, etc., because we just cannot consistently perform to a level over 90 minutes, over a 90-minute period. Now, I'm not saying that I expected Arsenal today to go to Anfield and absolutely tear Liverpool a new one. But the way that we was getting bossed in that first half was just embarrassing, really. You know, so there's no point in crying over spilled milk. This season is what it is. It's over for us. But massive summer ahead, especially with us keeping this manager in. You know, I can't lie to you, Tel. I'm watching again. Lack of minutes for Ethan Nwaneri. I want to know why that is. I want to know why that is, Tel. I genuinely do.
I'll be honest with you. My only response is you should just feel happier. I don't know how you feel like this. How can you feel this way? I'm being sarcastic about the lot.
I was going to say, why should I feel happier, Tel? I'm watching rival. I'm watching all the big 6 teams.
I was being sarcastic.
Win trophy or have a chance of winning trophies.
It's being sarcastic, Brandon.
You don't need to answer.
I know.
You toast
No, you do not know.
You toast the person.
Consistency.
Well, he's trying to
be
stoke the
sarcastic.
fire. I get it. No, but honestly, I don't know what to say anymore.
But I hear you. No, I get where you're coming from. I do get the frustration. I really do. I've got a few super chats. So go on.
Just real quickly as well. I want to talk about.
Why are you so miserable, Brandon?
Yeah,
today's game meant nothing.
Mikel Merino showed that goal. He showed a bit more of a striker's instinct compared to Kai Havertz being in the right place at the right time, following that ball in, which is something that you wouldn't expect from a midfielder who's never played striker. However, if going forward, because we all talk about how Arsenal need a striker, if going forward, Mikel Merino is not going to play in that position and he's going to be trusted in his natural position, I worry about that as well. Look at the way when he received the ball from the goalkeeper and he just got surrounded. He just hasn't got the turning he's got the turning circle of a ship, to be honest with you. And that's why he ends up getting the second yellow card and getting sent off. So we've got so much to do, because I'm looking at certain players. Havertz, we all know he's not good enough. Merino, some of the signings we even made this summer are questionable. So we've got so much work to do. It's unreal.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I do. Struggling to get this super chat off the screen. Something's gone wrong with the system we're using, so I'm going to do them the old-fashioned way for a minute. But this here says Partey shouldn't have been on the pitch. He should have got booked a lot earlier in the game. The problem is when they don't get booked, you can commit more yellow card offences. Would he have committed them if he'd been booked? Maybe not. It's always a hard one to judge. The best team in Europe can't beat the Premier League champions. So what happens if the youth see this because they have socials? And what if they want to leave after the crowd is acting this way? We won everything. He won everything for you. He's so ungrateful. He's done something Gerrard didn't do. But part of the reason for doing this is to scare the shit out of every other Liverpool player so they don't ever try and do it. It's part of the reason. It's called intimidation.
Is the Canate link to PSG legit, by the way? I've seen a lot of my mates, Liverpool mates, talking about that. Apparently he's going
just
PSG.
as legit as the Saliba Madrid
always
links.
linked with them.
Liverpool fans are officially ops. Glad to not lose the game, but I'm tired of a yearly humiliation rituals. When we win the league, it will be hell to pay. Abraham.
Shiver me timbers.
We're still waiting, bro. We're still waiting. Been waiting for 3 years.
I'm going to be grey then.
Look at Trent's eyes. Man gave everything to the club, and that's how they did him. It's despicable. We cheered Xhaka on his way out, by the way. Do you know the Xhaka situation, though? Do you know why I always think it's different about that? By the way, it's worse. Because the reason he swore, what I've always found mad about Arsenal fans hating on him is the only reason he swore and lost his mind. It's because people were DMing his wife saying I hope she gets cancer. And I still, to this day, I remember listening to the Arsenal fans kick off. And I know we've just said we shouldn't tell fans how to think. But part of me is like, what did you expect a man to wishing him cancer on his wife? Oh, yeah. Thanks, everyone. I'll take that feedback on board. Crazy. Merino was fouled by Jota before he got sent off. No.
He already lost his balance.
His second tackle was outrageous. I mean, that's a clear straight.
I mean, the first tackle on Nunez was a foul. Arguably,
He should have been sent off in the first half.
The referee had a stinker, but just move on from it. Foul stuff.
Yeah, 1 second, guys. So sorry, Gal backstage. Now he's not there. I wonder if he's coming because I want to say the question. Delusional take, but the ref was. But what about the ref? Sorry, delusional take about the refs when Robertson choked Saka. The game ended correctly in a draw, but no one said it.
Yeah, but Skelly held Salah up.
If he saw those two, Robertson and Saka have been
time.
having a grappling match the entire game. Like, bro, what are we doing?
It's just football. Get over it, you guys. Not everything is that.
I mean, Staffy the fraud tried calling me out by saying, Terry, I thought when I said about it was a foul on Skelly, saying that I thought you said these things happen many times in the boxing set pieces. Not pushing each other in the face. That doesn't regularly happen in football.
He can't help it, man. He's like a foot taller than him, bro. Come on.
But, I hear you. Imagine winning the Premier League, but still crying and giving excuses. OG bottlers for a reason is what hashtag Danny says here. Saka choked 30 seconds before the first goal. PGM. I've just seen that. I didn't see that. I swear on my kid's life, I didn't see it. I've just seen a screenshot of it. It looks really bad, but I need to see it in real time. I can't see a screenshot.
Yeah, but via the rules, it doesn't get ruled off because the goal came straight from a throw-in.
It was literally for like half a second. I don't.
Yeah, I get your point about the throwing thing, but I still just want to see it. Yeah.
So, but the ball was out of play anyway.
Instead of focusing on the Premier League win, you made it about Trent. It's absolutely insane. Spend all week on Trent rather than the Premier League. We had Real Madrid in our ear 6 years at Chelsea about Hazard, left on a high.
The thing that makes it different is the year that Hazard left, you were in the Europa League, you won that. But you weren't like the best team in England. You didn't like win the league. That
you had a transfer ban as well.
Like it was a completely different.
Started eating the pies as well by then.
Also, what does it mean though? Focus on winning the Premier League. Like we had a party last week. We kind of had a party this week. Yes, we can do two things at once. We're not stupid.
The team is literally going to Dubai tomorrow, by the way, factually.
The players have been off pretty much the whole week. I think on Friday was the first day they were back in training, so they weren't even training.
Yeah, they've trained 2 days.
What does it mean, like, focus on winning the Premier League? How do you focus on? Focus on what?
What do you? I don't want me to sidetrack you.
I find that really hard to do, like to be able to motivate the team to carry on winning the games.
Yeah, there's no reason to motivate the team.
It's interesting to see what Carragher said when Matt put that in the private chat about how he disagrees with the whole booing during the game, which I agree.
So let's just read this out here. So this is what Jamie Carragher has said, just so that the viewers hear it as well. He said that for me, I don't believe any player putting on that red shirt who goes on to win trophies should be booed. Booing one of your own players whilst he is playing is not for me, is what Jamie Carragher has said here.
And he has every right to have that opinion.
If it was a game today, like last season, where it was like a point between, do you reckon, Liverpool fans, do you reckon that would have been the same reaction? Or because this game wasn't that big of a deal, it would have been the same reaction? Do you reckon
100%.
If this game actually meant like a league title race was still on between Arsenal and Liverpool, would Liverpool fans still have had
There's
the
an
same
irony
reaction?
in that, Connor. You missed a great joke.
Trent would have played from the
If
start.
this game meant more, would he have got booed? I mean, there's a great pun in there.
No,
wasn't
it's
there?
funny that, isn't it?
Here we go.
But Trent would have played from the start if it had been
That's
an
such a
important
horrible
game.
And also, almost certainly, Trent wouldn't have announced he was going in that scenario either. Like,
Yes, that's
he's
another thing.
Yeah.
We
definitely wouldn't have known.
Can I ask the Liverpool
we
fans?
do have to talk about the announcement though, because the day after Real Madrid asked us if we could release him early. So I'm not buying that crap.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a
Good
question about sort of the Trent situation? I know there's a lot of stories I've heard AGT and other online Liverpool fans speak about how he kind of delayed it and he was working alongside Real Madrid to orchestrate a free move. Fair. If it turns out that isn't true and he outright told FSG, I'm making up a timeline here just for the hypothetical question, 2 years ago, no matter what you offer me, even £1 billion a week, I'm saying no. Would that change people's minds on Trent that have really turned on him? If that comes out and is proven?
I don't know. Is a weird one?
Well, that's
He
on the
should have
club
told
in
us,
that case, because they should be trying to sell him rather than keeping him and let him go and, leave on a free.
Okay.
But it's a difficult one to manage from a PR perspective, right? How do you then because obviously if they sell him without making any kind of announcement or whatever, then the fans are going to go crazy and like FSG. Some people don't mind them, some people are.
And there's another
FSG.
thing as well
It's
that
a
people
no-win
aren't
scenario.
mentioning. It's the fact that Salah and Van Dijk stayed. That
Mm.
makes this even more complicated. So the other two stayed. They wanted to stay. They made it clear they want to stay. They both signed contract extensions. So it makes this situation a bit more awkward.
It's such a weird one because a lot of, if you look through like mega money transfers, like obviously Jack Grealish to that left Villa, Felipe Coutinho when he left Liverpool in 2018, they all signed contracts, like major like 5-year contracts before they made their big money move. And it's just, if you look at it from like the Tom Little perspective, where he's like, oh, we didn't get any money from him. Why couldn't Liverpool make an agreement? Okay, look, we will let you leave. We'll give a release clause to Real Madrid. Let them activate it, but you have to sign a contract so we can get some money out of you.
And maybe listen, I think that's a really fair thing to say. I'm just again until it's everything speculation regarding Trent. If 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he said, I will leave on a free, I'm not signing a new deal, like, let me go now, get some money. If FSG just kept on saying no and thought, oh, we'll change his mind, he's scouse, you can't necessarily blame Trent. Equally, if he has just strung you along on bullshit and lied the whole time to get out on a free, to make it cheaper for his future club, I get disliking him. The only issue I have as an outsider is it's hard to believe it because everything is based on speculation. It's all... The way Liverpool fans that now hate him, they push out, he snaked us. The ones who are still kind of respectful to him are sort of more open-minded to what the reasons might be. And as an outsider, I just want the facts, if that makes sense. And then it's easy to decide.
From an individual point of view, what you can't really argue what he's done because he hasn't. Who knows? 2 years ago, he may not have necessarily known that Real Madrid was going to be there as an option because you don't know what's going to happen with the club and who's going to be interested at any particular time. But what he did was obviously he gave himself the power to keep his options open. And if Real Madrid wasn't there, then maybe if Real Madrid signed somebody else last summer, for example, or had a proper right back, then probably Trent would have re-signed a contract. But he just wanted to keep his options open. Obviously now
there's three things that probably will come out or people will talk about in the future. The first one is he signed a 4-year contract. We offered him a 5-year contract. And we signed a load of players on 5-year contracts. So he knew that his contract was going to expire when he turned 26, 27. So he was still going to be in his prime. That's the first thing. The second thing is, and this is across Liverpool, his brother was nicknaming him McManaman a year and a half ago. Okay. Look it up, all right? He was starting to get the nickname McManaman off his brother. And when those things happen, then red flags start. And the last thing is, he was offered a contract numerous occasions, which meant that Liverpool still must have had the inkling that he was going to come to the table, which means that he strung us along. That's what I feel. He strung us along. And Real Madrid have a set plan of getting players to leave on frees and moving to their club. And
but came back. The thing is,
that's how it's done with a lot of them.
No, but the thing
That's
is,
a lot of
what he's done,
speculation.
he's kept his options open, right? When you say strings, if Real Madrid wasn't there, I don't necessarily think he goes to, I don't know, Inter Milan or somewhere else.
No,
so
I agree.
There's a very
It's only Real.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Nav says be grateful. Moreno's card is Raya's fault, in my opinion. Connor, do you think, Matt? Do you think that's Raya's fault? Bad pass from Raya?
I mean, it was about
the urgency in his face. You could see the urgency in his face. Like Merino was fucking panicking, wasn't he? But I mean, but the second challenge was unneeded, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you know. So
that's kind of what changes my mind about that.
Yeah.
I
agree.
It is what it is. Just go on in it. You know?
Raya was good today as well.
Before I go to Egal, the super chat here for Husam. It says the best Liverpool can get is 89 points, same as Arsenal last year, but with 20 fewer goals. Who is the better team, Husam? Narrative ended.
Just really annoying.
Because all Liverpool fans were like, "Oh, we could get 91 points."
Matt, when it says Husam, it's for me to answer.
Okay. Go
anyway, Tom, I think this is the most boring super chat in the Football Terrace history. History never remembers any of this that you're talking about. History remembers who are the champions. Two league titles in 5 years, 20-time champions. And the reason why Liverpool haven't had as many points, and Terry brings this up 100 times, is because when you got the league won, you have no motivation. Just like I have no motivation on the watch-alongs. I don't really care.
But, Sam, can we now finally state that a team's points totals is not an outright indicator they're better than previous champions? But you keep
saying that to me. Like, I don't think Centurion City is the best team ever.
No, but can we agree on that? Maybe you agree on that.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, I don't think it's just points tally by itself.
And I think that's why. I think that's what Tom is saying as well, as you say, because this team is better than Arsenal's team last year. They won the league title, and
you didn't.
It's you've got to go with it because points totals are, and we're going to see something soon, or one day, where you get 2 or 3 teams that are near that City Centurion level, but none of them will get 100 points because if 3 teams are at that level, mathematically it becomes almost impossible to do it. And the
only thing I'd say,
and actually using his logic, both teams that Jurgen Klopp finished second with are better than both Arsenal teams. So you want to play that game? So now where do they go?
Man City.
What I will say is that in isolation, if you're looking at very small differences, like for example, if you're comparing a team who finishes 89 points and a team who finishes 87 points 5 years ago, I think that's a difficult argument to have. When you're finishing that many more points ahead, when you're getting 100 points, 99 points, over 95 points, there's only 2 teams who've got over 95 points: Liverpool and City. I think most people also acknowledge that those are 2 of the best teams in Premier League. Certainly the Centurions. Because you're that much higher. It's not like a small amount. It's like that much.
At the same time, what people like Sam have spent a lot of time, and a lot of Liverpool fans have pushed this season, is a lot of those teams that used to be considered crap, Bournemouth's examples, Brighton's examples. That team that were always getting whipped by those sides are all now a lot better, and that's why the points total as an isolated metric I've always found disingenuous. 1, who else was competing for the title? 2, how good are that mid block of teams from sort of 5th down to say 15th?
Yeah,
and we all know in the Premier League this season that teams that are we know for a fact teams that are sitting 17th and 18th in the 17th and 16th in the league have beaten teams in the top 2 or 3 this season. So we know how strong it is, and that's why you've always got to look at these things. Points totals for me can be misleading. And this year, you didn't win the league 2 weeks ago, Liverpool. You won the league in February. That's when everyone said the title race was over. It is hard to maintain those in that level of intensity for 3 months.
Can I also just say something on that, Terry? Do Arsenal fans really want us to finish on 100 points? Because we'd be like over 30 points ahead of you. And then you'd be like the record of being beaten.
Listen, Husam was on my show a couple of days ago, and he said Arteta is judging a 38 game season versus a 35 game season. Well, now if you don't win the next 2 games, his point would be valid.
Can we just stop this narrative now? They've won the
Do you know
league.
what though?
are we
Do you
doing
know
here?
what though? Just very quickly, the thing with the Arteta situation is so funny to me because I didn't really have an issue with what he said, even though like factually it wasn't quite true. I kind of got where he was coming from. I just think it's been overblown in every single direction, really and truly.
Yeah, but at the
terms-
time he said he was wrong, so it doesn't matter if you become right 3 weeks later. At
Oh,
the time
so-
that he said Liverpool, he said Liverpool won the
Are
league.
you talking
when you-
about the Premier
yes,
League
but-
and a
but-
Can I
Champions League?
just talk? He said
what-
Liverpool won the
interview.
league on 82 points. That was at game week 35.
Yes.
Of which Liverpool had more points than game week 35 Arsenal the year before and the year before that.
Yeah,
So
but
he's
did he-
wrong.
Did,
Oh, I hate
did,
my
he, did he did he say on game week 35?
No,
Yeah, he said it before the PSG
You're
game.
missing the point, Terry.
he said
What- no, no,
Arsenal.
I wanna
Arteta
know
said, okay, this is what Arteta said.
Yeah.
Liverpool won the league on 82 points. That's less points than we had last season and the year before.
Yes, yeah. And again, see, when I listen to this is what I love about social media. When I heard him say it, my interpretation was, and again, I don't think he should be saying it. It's pointless, but is that they went last season until the last day of the season last year. City got crowned as champions. Is that correct?
Yes.
And, at that point, Arsenal went on to 89 points. Where he's wrong isn't the maths. Where he's wrong is the game week because you guys didn't need to go into the final day of the season, the day you've been crowned champion. So I just, again, though, it's just, I feel the whole thing has been blown so
It's just
far
him being
out.
a div, Terry. It's him being
No,
a div.
I think
It
it is.
is. It is. I honestly, if I can make a choice, I'd block him from all press conferences now. I can't listen to his shit anymore. But he has to because he's the manager of the football club. I can't stand his press
Thank you,
conference,
Connor.
pre-press conference, his
It's also
after-match
the
press
time.
conference. I can't stand any of them.
It's also the timing because I thought wasn't
This
it
is
wasn't
what
it
I mean.
before
I
PSG?
think-
And now
there-
Trent
there is- I
is
think
coming up,
people,
which is
though,
the even
I think-
worse part.
But I think people are just blowing. Again, I'm not disagreeing with you that you don't like listening to him. I was like that with Ten Hag, but you can do is what I did with Ten Hag. I muted his name on socials. I never watched any of it. And this is the irony. If you all just
I don't
ignored
watch
it for a minute, your lives would feel a lot better. Managers, typically speaking, all at some point chat a load of old shit. Everyone, from the best to the worst. But again, like I said at the beginning of the show, it's not about defending Arteta because I like I've said, it's chatting shit. It's the thing for me is it depends on your disposition towards the person. Jurgen Klopp said a load of old bollocks all the time. But Liverpool fans that loved him were like, oh, the aura, my manager, I love him, he's great. No, it's true. Fergie said so much mad stuff that, but because I loved him, I didn't give a shit. But when you're not in love with the manager or he hasn't won you the trophies or got the credit in the bank, it's more annoying at the end of it. And I'm not saying they're right or they're wrong. Just don't fucking watch the press conferences. I implore football because you don't learn anything. You don't learn anything. What do they tell you in a press conference? It's all like predetermined answers. The questions from the media are shit. The only thing good from a press conference is who's fit and who's out. That's the only good information you ever get in a press conference. Genuinely, like it really is.
Do you know who he reminds me of, Terry? He reminds me of David Brent. The Office.
the light, yeah. No, I hear you. Do you know what's really interesting as well? With all the things he did with the light bow and speakers. You never watched The Office, Egal?
UK, not US.
Oh my God!
Okay,
Egal,
you gotta watch it.
The Office,
You gotta
bro.
watch
You
it.
gotta watch it.
Gotta watch.
Arteta.
I'm an Arsenal fan and I'm not happy with the season either, but I am effing glad I ain't miserable like Brandon. Geez, this guy is so depressing.
Brandon just wants to win. He just
Okay,
wants to win.
what if Trent never won the Prem and went to Real Madrid?
I think you're mixing up. First of all, no one here is Tom Little, Naval Nation, so you're fighting with your own voices in your head. Second of all, I think Trent is a Liverpool legend, but I am sad because I'm losing a world-class player. That's it. That's it. It's very simple.
What if you were to replace him with a world-class player?
You're there. Why should I be worried?
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Do I look like Conor Bradley? I don't think I do, but Husam.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
I don't
do.
think I do as well.
Grow a beard and you're literally
Whack a beard on,
Conor
yeah,
Bradley,
maybe.
Conor Bradley's better looking.
Cheers, Terry.
He's better
Appreciate
looking.
it,
Mate. Okay, for clarity, any homegrown Liverpool player that leaves Liverpool deserves dog's abuse. You're acting like a man's gone to United or Arsenal or Chelsea.
Dogs abuse because he got booed. Oh, grow up here.
Yes, Trent should have signed a contract so FFG could pocket another 50 million to not spend on transfers instead of taking that money for himself. Very smart. Element of truth to that. Madrid and Barca are so broke, they convince great players to run their deals down so they can sign them for a fee with huge bonuses. The problem is with that, though, this is the thing, they're not free. It's not free still. It just means the transfer fee is going to be paid to Trent and his agents. It doesn't actually save Real Madrid any money.
Madrid ain't broke. Their revenue.
No, but look, it's the same thing that happened with Arsenal in the sense that it took them a while to pay for their stadium, right? Real Madrid are not in the same position, but they can leverage their brand. And also, they have spent a shitload of money on their new stadium. And this is one way that they can recoup some of that money by signing good quality players, not on a free. I don't know if the sign-on fee tail would be exactly the same as any transfer fee. But it would be a saving.
Yeah.
Because they would also have to pay us, even if they were just to sign him normally, they would still have to pay.
Well, it's like Erling Haaland. They
fee.
got him for 52 million pounds. So all the net spend wankers go 52 million, but there was a 50 million pound agent fee that had to be paid as well. So he cost the club 102 million pounds of cash. So it's a fact. If Arteta's narrative is correct, Liverpool have 3 better teams than the Invincibles. Thanks, Egal. Yeah, he just needs to keep quiet, Mikel Arteta. But I think Arsenal fans have
only lost his head in the
he's got to keep quiet. He's got to.
He's starting to get it, man.
You don't like it.
We're not talking about it now.
No. You want to know something? I don't think any manager.
Oh, by the way, that tifo was fantastic. I know not against the manager, but that tifo that the Liverpool fans had was fucking fantastic.
You're bringing up Liverpool for making fun of us.
You cut.
But it was funny. It was funny. It was fucking funny. You can't deny that.
No.
It was hilarious, man. I don't he's laughing.
That's the bullshit.
You can't look at that and have a little bit of a laugh.
In this game alone, I think what Luis Diaz did was the most disrespectful out of everybody. What Luis Diaz did was disrespect to the farthest level. For him to sit there after scoring a second goal at the 20th minute mark and say night like we don't have no fight to come back.
Oh my god!
You're
so.
The game is done after 20 minutes.
Guys, Diaz did the night celebration.
I'm happy the players.
Everyone do it on the stream to piss him off.
You're literally the same person.
You're really mad, Egal.
You didn't win.
You're so.
Listen, another thing is, how is Robertson not getting looked at? Robertson fully chokes Bukayo Saka. What the hell is going on?
Egal, we have moments too where we should have had players on yellow as opposed to red.
Have you ever been fully choked? Egal, have you ever been fully choked?
The man gripped his
hand. If you looked at that entire duel, those two were
clutching at straws.
Basically WWE with them. I don't care what anybody says. Arsenal have now gone basically three full seasons without a major.
746 days. I've just seen on Twitter.
Oh my god!
3 full seasons without a defeat in the top 6.
Well done.
Liverpool.
21 seasons without a league title.
Liverpool won the league, but they have not been
5 years without a trophy.
You guys are rattled because Mazu Skelly didn't clap. It's kind of weird. And overall,
you're rattled because of a celebration. You're rattled because of a celebration, bro. You're rattled because of a celebration.
No, because you know what it is? It's like sacrilegious. You can't be doing that unless.
Again, we're doing too much here. Please, we're doing too much.
You can't.
You say sacrilegious for Skelly.
Argue with you,
guys. Let's talk. This is gold. Let him talk about sacrilegion, please.
Fuck, listen, you can't do that unless the game is done and buried. It's basically
without laughing. I dare you.
It's basically like saying I'm putting you to bed. You're done. You're finished without actually having the game wrapped up. I personally found it disrespectful at the time I tweeted it, and now looking back at it, I'm like, I'm happy the players showed fight. I'm happy that Martinelli and Trossard switched positions for once, and we've seen Martinelli through the middle. It was the first time we've seen him through the middle in a while, and hopefully that continues. Unfortunate that what do you call it? We got a red card because Mikel Merino's red card was valid. He deserved the red, but 9 goals now this season, and he's not going to get to play again for the rest of the season. We're going to have to see Martinelli play up top. And from the rest of the game, honestly, you guys started off well. We finished off the game in the second half quite well. And guess what? Martin Odegaard, shooting practice must be working because he's shooting the ball a little bit more, and that's one thing that I wanted to see, and I'm happy about that. And hey, I also found your banner a little bit interesting because you've never made fun of Manchester United like that. You've never made fun of Chelsea like
That's
that.
a lie.
That's a lie. We
never
made fun of David Moyes when he was manager of United.
I have been watching football.
for
I have been
claims.
watching football since '98. I have never seen a Liverpool banner about Chelsea when they're.
You know we call David Moyes a
I've
footballing
never seen a
genius.
banner.
Right? And
I've
there's
never
big
seen a
banner.
banner. Let me say a sentence without you guys cutting me off. I've
No,
never
but
seen a
we'll
banner
correct you, right?
about Manchester United. You guys mocking them after years and years of you guys being rivals to the level where you've now overtaken them. I've still not seen you guys bantering them. Manchester City, you're in title races with them for 4+ years. Never seen you mocking them once. To me, it just sounds like you guys want to kick us while we're down. That's really what it looks like.
Okay, number one. Let me respond now.
Come on.
First of all, football has fell off as a sport because 15 years ago, Adebayor ran at the Arsenal fans after scoring a goal for City against Arsenal. If a 9-night celebration is triggering you this much, then you need a holiday, Egal. Go to Dubai with the Arsenal players. The second thing I want to say is Liverpool had to put out a statement for mocking Chelsea fans last season. We have had banners mocking Man United 100 million times. Terry has seen them. We went to Old Trafford with inflated balloons with number 6 on them after winning the Champions League because we got double Man United's ones. We have mocked Manchester City countlessly. It's just this thing that you're trying to start. Stop begging a rivalry. Your rivals are Spurs and Chelsea. Put the fries in the bag. This is just banter. You lost the league title. You finished second 3 years in a row, and the opposition is bantering you a little bit. What do you think? You think we're watching squash or tennis? Like, what do you want? Like, hey, this is Wimbledon.
You fully had Odegaard ones as well.
I mean, this is professional sport. It's football. It's banter. It's tribalism. Let people be tribal. If next season the same thing happens and Arsenal do a banner with Arne Slot on it, like. It's normal. It's banter. It's just people having fun. So there's nothing wrong with it.
At halftime, I was looking at how much those banners cost. Fair play.
The thing is, they're definitely right. What I will say is an outsider to the two of your clubs looking in, there is a rivalry of sorts there. Whether it's fan related, it's great to see. I did a video about this a few weeks ago, and I just said like this is so good for next season because I think the one thing that brilliant footballing on the pitch rivalry had between City and Liverpool is that there was no needle. Now, whether it's because of Arsenal fans like Egal, whether it's Arteta and the weird things he says in press conferences, the disdain that City and Liverpool now feel towards Arsenal from a footballing context, I just think adds more needle to everything. And it's been missing from the game for a while for me. I like it a lot.
The thing is, Phil,
is
since the
that
start
we've
of the
got
season,
more rivalries, or we've created more rivalries than we've got titles at the moment.
The reason why I think Liverpool, I think that the reason why Arsenal fans have got up Liverpool fans' backs up a little bit or actually not a little bit, they've even got my backs up this season.
Yes,
is from the very start. They've discredited us at almost every turn. First of all, we hadn't played anyone. They were saying that they fear Man City, even though we were 9 points ahead. They drew or lost against, I think it was against Bournemouth, and then Souls came on and said they're now favourites to win the league. And it's just gone on and on and on. And like normally, you know me, I've been on Terrace for a long time, right? I don't really get sucked into all that kind of stuff. But it's every turn this season, it's actually been quite distasteful and actually quite disrespectful in my opinion, and that's what's got our backs up. And actually, that's why this hurts, but it's a little bit more joyful that we've won the league.
I understand that, and it's some. And what the comment I saw a second ago, I can't see it now, that says it's nearly a rivalry, but not quite a rivalry yet. That's also fair, but there's definitely something this season that's kicked off, and as long as one of you or both of you don't drop off next season, and I just hand on heart, I think Liverpool are going to be a very good team again next year. Arsenal are going to be in and around it again next year. I just don't see them falling off. You know, they don't look like a terrible team to me, although that's what everyone wants the analysis to be. I feel that that's going to boil over into next season, and I'm there for it. Whether it's short-lived while you're both challenging for league titles or not, I'm not that bothered. I'm not an Arsenal or a Man United or a Liverpool fan. Oi! But for me, it's I'll throw any and slip. But for me, it's needle. We saw it in the two, because of what happened last season. The two City Arsenal games this year had that about them. And just from an outsider, I think it makes these games. Imagine today if there was something serious about it, or that atmosphere would have been like, and we will all enjoy that as football fans. So more of the same, please. More of the same. This comment here says, Husam, Spurs, really? Come on, bro. We finished second, not 16th next to Spurs. Give us a little. What is this obsession with Arsenal fans suddenly saying that Spurs ain't their rivals? Who has started this lie?
I don't know. You can't even.
Guys, Everton are like they're our rivals and we're league champions. What's this bullshit, bro? Like,
I disagree.
Chelsea and Fulham are rivals. There's geographic rivals.
Anyway, I hate Spurs.
You know what?
Can I tell you what where I think it stems from? Theory. It's online fans only do this. It's not. No one in the stadium at Arsenal thinks this. Do you know what I think it is? As a guess, I'm guessing it, top of my head, when Arsenal were on the up and up, but they weren't beating Man United's, Liverpool, Cities, but they were beating Tottenham's, I think certain Arsenal fans created a narrative that they're not really rivals, so it doesn't count as a rivalry win, so they can slag their team off. That can be the only logical reason I can think of as to why any gooner would say you're not rivals. It's crazy.
I don't think league positions should swap your rivalry to anyone. Why should that be the case? If that's the case, then West Ham shouldn't be rivals to Millwall. Like, what,
West Ham shouldn't be rivals with anyone.
If Spurs win the Europa League this season, are they the best London team this year?
No.
Yes.
No.
Easy answer.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No,
but it's not going to happen anyway.
I don't know why you brought that up.
Guys.
Most trophies.
Sorry, that was a dig at everybody there. Sorry, Terry. That was one of you.
Banter aside, if you guys want to have a real conversation, the team is in 16th. They see their team week in, week out get slapped. Now they might have something to show for it at the end of the season in the record books, but they've had a miserable season.
Yeah, but
and here's the thing you just said, something to show for it in the record books.
Sorry, they're not 16th. They're not 16th. They're 17th.
They're 17th.
They've got.
They've still won a trophy. If they do win it, they've still won a trophy.
No, absolutely.
I don't
Would you rather be Tottenham right now?
Don't
do this. Would you rather be second and win nothing?
Guys. It's the wording. They'll be the most successful London team this season.
Yes,
but they're not the best London team. I think the wording is really important there.
Didn't Connor say most successful?
The thing is, let me just say something. If Spurs were in the Conference League in 17th, I would agree with Egal. But the fact that Europa League winning that gives you Champions League qualification,
the competition that we couldn't win for 4 to 5 years of being in.
You know what the conversation should be? The conversation should be the team that wins the Europa League, or if Chelsea win the Conference League. Who has a better overall season? Because they both relatively similar situations.
No.
But I say here's the thing. Let me just make something clear. If Spurs won the Carabao Cup, they've had a better season than everyone except Liverpool. Why? Because they're Spurs. So because they're Tottenham Hotspur and they're a failure of an institution for our whole life,
pound for pound,
them winning something in itself is a success.
Pound for pound. I might hear you there. Nav here says Egal. It's cause Arsenal shits. What does EW mean?
Don't worry.
It's normal for everyone to roast you, even non-league fans roast you, not just the top. Don't worry. Everyone's invited to it.
That's not
they're losing, then they're acting like a loser. There's losing, then they're acting like a loser, is what Fonzie says here. This Liverpool team is no way close to the Invincibles.
That's not the point, Robert. You consistently miss the point. Terry's saying if we use Arteta's logic, then the Liverpool team that had 92 points, 97 points is better than the Invincibles because we had more points. That's the thing that we're saying here.
Yeah, I agree. Donny, the banner Liverpool fans had of Arteta dressed as a bridesmaid. Yeah, that was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I hate Liverpool Football Club, but I saw it. I'm drinking. I spat water out my mouth. It was. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was AI, and I was like, "Oh,
shit, Egal, you got to admit that was such a funny banner, man. Come on."
Nah, that's disrespectful. I don't like it.
Oh, come on, Egal. If Arsenal did that, he'd be laughing at us.
If an Arsenal fan tried to go into the stadium with that, the club would say no.
No, they wouldn't. Don't try that. No way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Before I get the card that Connor's not an Arsenal, it's the fact that I didn't even know it'd be there, and I saw it on telly, and I thought, on Twitter, and I was like, if you see it, it's like, oh fuck, that is. Then you know.
Yeah, does Trent deserve all the stuff he's getting? We've kind of been through this, Josh, earlier in the show, and most of the Liverpool fans agree he deserves it and more, didn't you, boys? That's what you all said.
If that makes
had Arsenal done that tifo against Slot and Liverpool?
Yeah, exactly. And then we'd be the ones laughing about it. It's like,
Yeah,
come on,
then Connor would be
it goes
laughing.
both ways.
No, we wouldn't. They would be making articles for the next 2 weeks saying this is disrespectful. The club.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
But
The world
you
is
just said
up.
it's disrespectful.
Let me explain to you. Arsenal's captain took a photo of the cameraman, and it was a topic of discussion for 2 months.
Do you know it was?
Because you did not win.
You didn't win anything.
No. Let me finish, guys. To the point where today they
All right,
brought
Kevin.
a cutout of it with, say, take a picture of the champs. So
Because it's
it just
funny
goes to show
now.
you.
It's banter, Egal. Egal, it's banter. That's what
You
it is.
didn't win anything.
It's
No, bro,
in the famous words of Richard
different.
Keys.
It's different. When
It
it's
was
Arsenal,
banter.
when
It
it's
was
Arsenal,
banter.
when it's
It was
Arsenal, it's
ban-
different. When it's Arsenal, it's different.
No,
And
Gal, I do agree with you to a certain degree. I do feel if Arsenal won the league and they'd done a banner something similar, right? I do think Jamie Carragher and like a few newspapers would have been out in force. I do agree with you on that to a certain extent. Next year, Arsenal will be more dangerous. Not gonna lie, with the new director is what Naval.
I've heard that for 3 years straight.
No, do you know what? And I do like this. I don't know if you guys might not have seen the report, but we're looking for this Juan Garcia goalkeeper, right? Apparently,
Joan,
whatever, however you pronounce it. Bert has actually gone ahead and told him, do one. We're not wasting our money on a goalkeeper. So I respect that already. And I think that's a great sign of an actual guy that knows what he's doing instead of a geezer sat there letting him do whatever he wants.
United, isn't it, Terry?
Sorry?
He's moving to United, isn't it, Terry?
Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper, but the point is that you don't need another you don't need to spend 20-30 million on another goalkeeper.
Exactly, and that is a proper sporting director.
People are saying we need more height from our goalkeeper. Get out of here.
That's people overreacting because of Donnaruma's saves. That's all that is. It's because
Arsenal fans said that again.
Yeah, Arsenal fans are like they're like the best thing we could do is upgrade in both boxes. Get a striker.
But what Arsenal fan? You got to remember what
it's the tacticals.
Oh, the tacticals. Yeah,
do you not watch the game today? We need a big taller goalkeeper. Get out of here, man.
By the way, who had the most XG today? Do we know? Anyone know? Just for the crack.
Liverpool had more XG.
What's the XG for this?
I love it. Do you know what? I used to hate XG, but I started to like it more and more. No, they didn't.
If Arsenal fans really think we need to spend 30 million on a new backup goalkeeper and not in any other way use it somewhere else, you lot are on another planet.
It was Liverpool. According to the XG philosophy, it was 2.64 to Liverpool, 2.61 to Arsenal. So you're marginally in Liverpool's favour.
Yeah.
I read the wrong.
Liverpool clear.
I read the wrong. I read the aggregate for the season, which came. Look at this for the season.
2.31.
By the way, Egal, that was drunk Liverpool on 2 days training.
And that was Arsenal with no Declan Rice.
You're not all drunk. Not all your squad drinks.
Yeah, Mo Salah and Konate.
Mo Salah has been strapped up today by Mazu Skelly. What we saying
Was
about
he?
that?
I don't know what game you were watching.
Yeah, you would have burst out laughing when you said that. I can see
Yeah, even you don't believe that, mate. Was he?
He almost
That's what
virtually
spinning
set
him
up
up
that
and
first
down.
goal.
Listen,
That was
I'm not gonna lie to you.
incredible.
Mo Salah, every time he had the ball, I was like, no, but then he didn't end up doing anything.
There you go.
I mean,
You can never
he had
tell
a free
them.
assist,
He'll
he had a
either
free
do
assist
something
for
crazy or not.
Diaz's goal. Did you see that pass? That was an incredible pass.
And Robbo's.
This year from this Ngoni says the Arteta TiVo was ridiculously disrespectful. It's banter if it's against Arsenal, though. I am not an Egal fan, but he is right. Big up, Egal.
Like if you would have had never a bridesmaid, always the bride, or something like that. Never the bride,
always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
If you did that, fair. But the fact that you put female body.
My days, Egal.
The fact that you put Arteta's face on a female's body, that's where I'm like,
Listen. It's ban. It really is banter.
We're going too far.
I know that everyone gets mad now about if actors suddenly wear a dress in a movie, it means they've been corrupted by wokeism or something. No. I am mocking it because it was a joke. If it was something disrespectful, right, like sexist or racist or whatever, and fair enough. But it was a joke. It literally was called. It was him in a bridesmaid's dress. No one is suggesting that he's transgender or nothing, mate. Relax. Like, no, that's not.
Egal, just because you said that,
not the joke.
We're doing too much.
That's not the joke. It's crazy.
Egal, just because you said that, I'm gonna put that Tifo in every thumbnail now. I'm literally gonna go edit
No,
the
do you know
Ahwa
what?
thumbnail now and put
Connor,
that
Connor makes some of my thumbnails for me. So if anyone thinks I'm stealing stuff, blame Connor. Can you put Egal in a dress for me, please, for a reaction to this?
Egal might hate me for that.
Egal in a
Egal will hate me
bridesmaid's
for
dress.
that.
Here, I literally just put it on the Ahwa thumbnail.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, we'll just everyone do it.
Terry, you got to see what Patricia Everett said. You're gonna have to do a whole video on that. He went in.
On
What
what?
He basically said the reason why Arsenal is not winning is not because of the owners, not because of the manager, not because of the player.
Oh, yeah, I
it's
know.
because of the fans.
Oh, I thought
Why?
it'd be
Why?
because
Because you're too what? Too nice or too negative?
I think
He just says we're
he's
delusional.
He's basically implying our delusion has led to.
Do you know what's really funny though?
Yeah,
It
this is
depends
not
on
the Queen dying.
It depends on like what end of the sort of spectrum you think's delusional. Because I've said this on so many streams. I think the die-hard Arteta inners and the die-hard Arteta outers, they think they're here and here from each other. You can't see. They think they're here and here. They're not. They're there. They're right next to each other. But there we go. This says, was under the impression there are rivals geographically like us and Spurs, but I meant rivals every year fighting for the league. Now, not just the top four with
Yeah,
City.
but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Liverpool and Man United in my lifetime have fought for the league title literally only once. That does not make the Liverpool versus Man United the game any less intense. Okay, a rivalry is a rivalry. I don't need Spurs to be second and Arsenal first, or vice versa, for me to say it's a rivalry.
I agree
Yeah,
completely.
that just doesn't work with that.
Liverpool.
Listen, I want to
Manchester
thank
United are
everyone
always
who
gonna
is
be
tuned.
bitter rivals. Always bitter rivals. For me.
Always. It's good. It's good for it. Listen, I want to thank everyone who's tuned in, everybody who's super chatted. I want to thank all of my panelists on the show today. Go and check out Match Bingo, an amazing game to play during matches. Linked in our description below. We're back tomorrow with more content for you. Straight facts first thing in the morning. This video is redirecting you to Al Hawa.
Yes, God, Terry.
I said it right. So get yourselves across to Husam's channel now. Go and support my brother over there. Until next time, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Peace.